Welcome to the Tone Jerks Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and we got today...
Kyle McIntyre.
Yeah.
I made it.
He made it.
Yeah, I made it into the garage.
He ain't going anywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked you the other day, I'm like, hey, can you go check something for me in your garage? And you never did it.
Yeah.
You're like, why? Oh, because it was hot in there.
Yeah. That's a good reason.
It's too hot in there. I'm not going to go look at that. I'm like, can you grab a pedal for me?
Well, I can't say it's too far away. So
yeah, it's too hot. And I'm like, all right.
It's like
too hot in the kitchen.
Dante's Inferno in here.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, man. It's another hot cast.
Yeah.
It's actually not too bad.
Not bad as the breeze rolls through.
It's a little muggy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It actually rained yesterday, which is weird.
Yeah.
Well, not where you were, but I was driving
Different parts of San Diego.
Around 2:00, and I'm looking in the distance, like East County. It's like, it's hot, right? And I'm looking in the distance. Where I'm at is like blue skies, white clouds. I'm like, oh yeah, beautiful. Looking
Beautiful
in the distance.
day. Oh.
It's like dark as hell, like this dark, like black, and I can see like
it's fucking dork.
Yeah, and I'm looking. I can see like spots where it's downpouring. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, like where the light is shining through, like the actual water hitting the ground. You know,
So you can tell it's gonna be a hot cast. We're talking about weather.
Yeah,
the weather.
Yeah, I guess we could say that for the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Once we get into it, we don't want to shake them up too much.
Yeah, I guess
right.
I can hit my what's new.
Yeah, what's new in your
Follow
world,
the
Kyle?
formula.
Yeah, you're still grounded, still at your homestead here.
My mom called, said I was grounded.
Yeah, you're grounded. You're a Dr. Mom, or Mom Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm home still. I went to the doctor the other day, yesterday, and they got me out of my boot. So I'm actually wearing like a lace up or like brace.
Yeah.
So it actually fits inside a shoe.
Nice.
Which is better. It's not as much like support, I guess, but it's still, yeah. Doesn't let my ankle torque.
Twerker.
So I can actually wear like Converse now.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it'll fit into my work boot.
So be more stylish.
Yeah, it just looks like I have like a growth on my looking at it. Anyways, I still have like pretty big swollen, like the right side of my right ankle is still pretty swollen.
It's still discolored and
no,
like,
it's not.
bruised.
There's like the skin still has like that look to it, but it's not purple, red, and black and all colors of the bruiser rainbow.
Bruise's rainbow.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks a lot better. But he said that it could be like 6 months before the actual swelling goes away.
Damn.
I was like, oh shit. And he's like, it could be a year before you receive like full strength and mobility.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
Well,
I'm probably wearing this every time. I know you know from experience.
Yeah, when you had fucked it up on that hike, everybody's like, no, Kyle, it'll probably be good by the weekend. I'm like, nah, it could be a couple of years.
Yeah.
It could be like, or whatever.
And I believed you.
And then I'm the only one who's telling you, I'm like, yeah, you probably really
and I
fucked
know.
it up.
I'm looking at you like, this motherfucker knows.
Hamza and Johnny's like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I mean, I'm not trying to like fuck you up and like be a downer, but I'm like, nah, you know what's up.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when I wrecked mine, I'm like, I never went to saw. God damn. I never saw a doctor.
You never see the doctor.
I never seated him with my both eyes.
I seen him.
And so I'm like, man, I just was like, I wore like a brace wrapped in, just kind of like, oh, keep on going, keep on keeping on.
Yeah, you could have broken something too.
It probably would have been better if I did, so it would actually heal and I can put it on a cast.
Yeah.
But I think it was just all like whatever.
Tendons and ligaments and shit.
Yeah. I'm actually, it took probably a good year or so, and then I was able to run on stuff like that and on it again. But yeah, I'll never forget that ankle, man.
Yeah,
I've never broken anything. My sister had really fucked up her ankle, pretty much her leg. So she I'll tell her story.
This is what's new for her, I guess?
I guess, but it's like a spin-off. Right. Hey, we're going back and forth. It's called a conversation, Kyle.
Yeah.
Are you trying to barrel through this?
I will try.
I'm trying to because so I can win.
All these speed bumps are in the way, though.
She had like basically like I don't know, like I think at her ankle kind of just broke, and she broke it. God damn, I can't talk today.
You need to read some more.
Yeah, she broke it in several places, and her toes were pointed backwards.
Oof.
Flipped around.
Like a compound fracture.
Yeah,
or
and
something?
she's like, it was the lamest thing in the world. It had like rained, and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk, to in the spirit of like, oh, being healthy and whatever. Just gonna go.
Sounds like my journey.
A walk. Like I'm like not like
Yeah.
I wasn't on a journey. I wasn't chasing a train. I wasn't doing anything. It was just like, I wasn't being chased by anything. She's like, oh, I was on my phone, just talking to my friend and just hanging out. And I'm going for a walk, maybe a couple miles, and then just like slipped on.
Like stepped off a curb, right?
Yeah, just like in the middle, and then she's
Probably
in the
the-
middle of the street, just fucked it, and she's like, it fucked up her 6+ months of her life.
Shit.
She had to get surgery. She had to go under. She has a plate now in her leg, and she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, this is what I get for trying to be healthy. And she's like, it was bullshit, but she's okay now. She's doing everything. She's loving life. But it was like at the time, she's like, what the fuck? It was at the beginning of the year. It must have been like a week into the new year. You know how you're like, new year, new me. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, like,
That's where it comes. Like, sorry, wrong.
well, I'm a big dude, right? And in the doctor's office, the doctor alluded to me losing weight. I'm like, yeah, I know. What do you think I was fucking doing?
What do you think I was trying to do?
Hauling
asshole?
ass down a hill.
Hauling a lot of ass
Yeah,
down the
too
hill.
much, some would say. No, but I'm
I
like,
was hauling some badonkadonk down
yeah.
there.
Well, how am I supposed to do it now, doctor? Where's that bionic leg you were promising me? Anyways,
But,
yeah. So I'm
always with the doctor. Sometimes he's like, so, but those LBs, pal.
yeah.
Do you get that? I get that with sometimes
Well,
with my doctor.
he did like the, you're a big guy. I mean, I don't mean it like in a, I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. I mean,
Yeah.
with this, it's probably best with the brace because you're a big guy. I'm like,
yeah. No, hey,
I don't mean it like that. I'm like,
You're
yeah,
not-
you do.
you're
Because
not-
you had to stop and like stop yourself.
It's not like you're telling me that the Easter Bunny isn't real. It's not like I'm like, what?
This isn't my doc. Yeah, I know. I don't know. This isn't my
Oh.
regular doctor. This is like the specialist.
It's
I can see his foot going into his mouth. I'm like, shut the
like Wonder Years Daniel Stern. Was that moment that I realized
yeah. Fuck.
my doctor and I have never been closer?
I'm like, yeah, and my wife's in the room. I'm looking at her. I'm like, when's this guy gonna shut the fuck up? He just keeps
she's like,
blabbing.
She's just digging that hole here. Do you want to, a bobcat to dig that
Yeah.
hole bigger, Bale?
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's I got that brace.
So
I'm
that's good. You're
a step closer
on
to being mobile.
the path to recovery.
Yeah. So we'll see when I resume work. Well, who knows? With the whole like disability thing, it has to go through a bunch of channels before I get cleared to go back. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Like red tape and stuff.
But I gotta cut it. Someone else gotta cut it. Yeah. So I did. I guess I got something back from. Okay. Well, I don't want to be it all like cloak and dagger. I got my guitar back. God.
Yes.
I got my guitar back. The body back that I sent.
Yes, we've
to
talked
have it
about
routed.
Yeah, talked about it a while ago. So it's your Parts-Aureo.
Excuse me.
Parts-Aureo.
Yeah, it's the Meteora
Yeah.
body, and I got it routed for an Evertune.
Yeah. So instead of a parts caster, yeah, that's the bit.
I thought we had like a slick way of saying it.
I think Parts-Aureo, something like that. And then I typed it wrong on Instagram. And you're like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm
Okay.
like, I don't remember. I still don't remember what the right way was. Anyways,
Anyway, so got it routed. Just piecing together. I have a harness coming in the mail from Gun Street Wiring.
country ride job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
you put an order in and be like, okay, Sean, we got these ideas, pal.
Yeah. So, just a basic harness for that one. Tried putting things together and realized like,
So what was it that you sent off to
okay,
to
so
do?
I sent the body off
Yeah.
to get routed for the Evertune, to remove all that wood, to set it up for it.
Yeah. It's you have to there's a lot of mats.
It's a big bridge
yeah.
that has to get, it's all subterranean,
Yeah, and
except for like a little part that sticks above.
Mhm.
It's like bigger than a Floyd Rose cutout.
Mhm.
And I think it's wider and it's longer. So it's like a lot more intricate cut.
Yeah, you have to like get it just right
Yeah.
for it to fit.
So as far as I know, that is done right.
Mhm. He tested it and sent pictures
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So I guess I don't know. I don't want to talk shit, but like certain things were done that I thought probably could have been done better.
We won't name names, but the guy, I'm gonna step in here. The guy took a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Old listeners who have heard about this saga.
I sent it off like at the middle of February, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And it's now September.
And so, I give it to him. He had some health issues and stuff.
Yeah, and it's a thing too. I'm like, I mean, I get it, but it's also like, that's a long time.
Yeah, and there's some things that were done that I wasn't really like stoked on.
Yeah.
I think he milled out spots that didn't really need to get milled out.
Yeah.
So it's made me having to maybe get a bigger pit guard for it.
Yeah.
So which I'm not. I've never done a Evertune. So, but I know that your guitars don't have it.
No.
Mine was routed in a spot like ahead of the bridge.
Yeah, it'd be like for the the spot between the bridge and the pickup.
Yeah.
So it's a bridge pickup only on yours.
Yeah.
Much like on my SG and my Les Paul Jr. It'd be like if that piece of wood was routed out from bridge to pickup.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, cool that it's done.
Yeah.
But it's also like, God,
that's one more thing I have to either cut a new pit guard.
Yeah.
Which he did. He offered to make one after realizing like, oh shit, I thought your pit guard went down there. I thought it covered that hole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well it doesn't. Like I didn't send it with the pit guard, obviously, also. Which maybe that would have been better.
Maybe, but it's also like...
But it's in the past, whatever. He could have also asked. And the pit guard he made doesn't really look the best. It doesn't do this nice like swoop from the top horn all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
It does this like... It comes down and then it has this like protruding piece of plastic.
Yeah, basically
it's like the quick fix, which...
Just put a rectangle to cover up that cut. And it's like what, like an inch and a half or whatever, like rectangle or whatever.
It's like an inch. It's like an inch and a half tall and like 3 inches wide.
Yeah. So like covering that, it's not a huge deal, but it's also like, God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
And then
so also I got some ideas of covering it.
And it also took forever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he cut a pick guard and sent it, and it was like shitty ass material. It wasn't it wasn't cut very well. It's like all like
he cut it with
jagged.
the CNC, and it needs to be sanded. All right, which is easy, but the material isn't the same. Mine is like the three ply black, white, black.
And so he just got here's black. What's the fuck?
Yeah, I was too black, and then it's at a 90 degree. It's not beveled. I'm like, damn it.
Anyway, so it's a.
This isn't a bitch fest because I'm actually still stoked.
It's stoked that you have it. Also, like,
I just have some more work on my side to do.
Like with when we talked about our guitars, I think these are great stories.
Yeah,
you're getting something, and it's like it's a process that you're doing.
The thing with this guitar is there's a bunch of unknowns.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Yeah, exactly. There's
like no other Meteoras except for shit ass ones that
Fender's making.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't want any of those. I wouldn't want those. I think they have 2 or 3 now. Yeah.
I'm just talking shit, but yeah.
No,
I think yours is coming out cool, and there's like some.
It's just I have
bumps.
some new hurdles, and I think
I was recommending, and I think you should go a custom pickguard from Tony from Pickguardian, the Guitar Knobs podcast.
Yeah,
those guys. Because it's like, okay, he'll be able to like cut one in a shape that is complementary to what you want, and kind of like, okay, I need you to cover these parts and make it flow in a better way, instead of like, hey, just cover a block to cover up this piece of wood that was cut out. I don't know.
I'm gonna try something first before I hit him up, though.
Yeah,
I might have an idea.
I got these ideas, pal.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to share it because it might be kind of lame. I don't know. We'll see.
Might not turn out well.
Might turn out, yeah.
But it's honestly, you could honestly just leave it open and be fine. I was saying to put a sticker over it. So
yeah. So there's some other fitment issues I got to work out. Last night you were here. I put the neck on and I was putting some strings on, and you saw it right away. I didn't see it until like I'm like, oh well, we just need to adjust these strings. We need to change the action. But you're like, wait a minute, this is as high as it goes. This is where it should be because he set it up already. Yeah. And I looked at it and you said the string comes in contact with the very first fret or the last fret.
So it's like the 22nd or 24th, whatever is like on that neck. So it's like
major. So it might be that the neck like the pocket needs to be routed out. Just like probably a 1/4 inch, or I mean that's a lot, but we'll see. I'm going to take it and see if
local guitar shop can make it happen.
Can make it happen and
So
see.
there's it's getting together.
And that's the thing with like buying stuff from
different. You're sourcing.
The neck is Warmouth, right?
Yeah,
and the body is an eBay buy.
Yeah, and then the routing is another
reverb. Yeah, so it's all these different people.
And so it's like all these people putting something together. So it's like,
and it's me also parting things out. Like I made a mistake and bought the wrong nut, and that was we remedied that already. So,
but it's cool. It's coming together. The fact that you have it back, it's I don't know. It's one step closer to a finished product, and it looks cool because it's more of just a tangible thing instead of just an idea of like, oh man, I hope I get that back.
Yeah, it looks great and it feels really good too.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have any strings on it, obviously.
Yeah, but air guitar the shit out of it.
Oh yeah,
kind of. It's not air, but you can pretend air string the shit. Out of it.
It feels really good, and I even had the strap like all the way down. I'm like, oh, this feels really cool.
Yeah. It's very it's gonna be cool. So it's a project. You're still working on it, but it's looking cool. There's some obstacles in the way, but you'll get there.
Yeah.
I think yesterday you set it up. I'm like, why are you putting the strings on? I want to kind of get it set up just to like.
Good thing I did.
Strum it, and then I'm like, well, you ain't doing anything with this tonight.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh, yeah. Oh, that's I guess that's all my guitar woes. I'm going camping with my brother.
Yeah.
I guess it's a hard transition here. Going camp with my brother tomorrow night. It should be I haven't camped in forever. It's been years. So since I'm not hiking. I knew you were going to say that. Well, don't go anywhere.
Use a flashlight, dipshit.
Yeah. I was using a flashlight when I rolled my ankle twice. Both times I was using a flashlight. I
saw it as bright as fuck, man.
My ankle was at a right angle.
It was a travesty, let me tell you.
Yeah, so it's like not even, we're not hiking anywhere. It's like technically, it's called car camping.
Yeah.
Where basically you drive your car up to your campsite and camp right there.
You going in a tent or something?
I'll probably just sleep in my Vic. It's like a mattress in the back anyways.
Oh, you ever slept in there yet?
No.
No.
Probably won't. I'll bring a tent.
Yeah.
My brother's got a tent, so.
You're going to pitch a tent. There you go.
I guess that's my what's new with you.
I guess we have one for both of us. We played a show. So it's a follow-up to the last episode where we talked about we're playing a show. Himmelbergs. We played with Co. Schneider's band, Sun Cub. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. Let's see. I think, it was their first show. They did really well. They played...
Yeah. Super solid.
Yeah, they sounded good. Drummer's really good. Even their bass player, it was
Jake.
Jake. I mean, Co's brother Jake. It's his first time playing bass and performing.
Did really good.
And he actually, he was like, I'm solid. I'm just playing my bass parts. Here we go.
I'm gonna look at the ground.
Yep.
No one. If I make eye contact with anyone, I'm gonna fuck up.
Co is actually really good. Co's a really good guitar player, and he's like really a good showman. Had a lot of fun. Sounded good. Good songs. I was, making the point to him, and I think it's great. I think it's cool, where he's like playing a bunch of boutique gear, but actually gigging with it.
Yeah.
It's like, he has an Equitz guitar.
Uh-huh.
He has a Benson, amplifier.
The Vincent.
Yeah. And then he has Pelican Noiseworks pedals.
Salvage
board. He's got the
Sinusoid cables.
Yeah, all those. And it's like Matoverse. He's got all these, and he has his own the Flippin' Flippers solid gold pedal.
Yeah.
Stack or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like you're actually using this stuff, man. This is great. You're doing
what you're supposed to do with that stuff.
This is what you're supposed to do with it. I'm sure the brands that are like make this stuff are very like, yes, do that.
Don't
be
just play in your bedroom.
I'm gonna buy this and then put it in my wall and then sell it. Hopefully for a profit. I know that's their whole thing, but it's I think it's great that he's playing it, and it's a lot of fun. It was very cool. Hopefully he continues booking more shows and stuff like that. I'm very, very much into that whole thing. As far as the gear, as the gear that we use, we've played Himmelbergs a couple times, so we knew what to expect as far as like the sound system and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've talked about it recently with bringing that.
The two notes cab M. Yeah, it's really like a big thing for people out front and Brian, our drummer.
Yeah,
he's in ears, and the more that he can hear, the more confident he plays, and it's good. But also, like, I don't want to hinder you and I to be like, oh, Kyle, you and I should just go DI only because we're so used to playing with stage volume.
Yeah, you have a little bit.
You have your shit dialed in. It's sans amp and an amp, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
And the amp that we brought is the TerraBass. You all heard that whole thing. Going DI out of the sans amp, great to the system. Add it to your monitor if you need it or whatever, and just turn up your amp. And the more you turn up your amp, it won't affect the house because the house is only getting the XLR. It's not getting the amp.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So it's cool. And then for me, I've been using the 2 notes. It sounded great. It was really cool. With that IR, it's really great. And I have different presets set for different dBs, like cut, like all the way from no dB cut all the way to negative 30 dBs, just so like whatever the house. I'm like, do you need less? Do you need more? What do you need?
Nice.
And I kind of can move it. He's like, oh, I need more. I'm like, cut it 5. Give him 5. And stuff like that.
We didn't actually sound check.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't sound check, but it's like we kind of knew what we were getting. And then, but I used my Rock Reverb 50 head, and I borrowed Co's cab because if you can share gear, that's the best for like small bar shows.
And Jake used mine.
Yeah, Jake used your setup, and I'm like, yeah, cool, easy enough, especially if you're friends with these people. I'm like, yeah, use share gear, and it sounded great for them. And Co used his, like you said, Vincent, and we just swapped heads and put my Rock Reverb on there.
It's a little wider than
it's definitely like
it's like hung over like
it's
2
funny,
inches on each side.
What if I had like a JCM 2000 or something like that? It's funny.
Probably lay it down.
This is like a vertical cab.
Yeah,
the Benson. It's pretty cool actually. It sounded great. It had the 30 watt, so 2 30 watt G12 Heritage. So it's like very nice Celestians. UK made ones, and they're like the buku dollar ones. So if you're paying a good price for a boutique amp, you're gonna get good speakers.
Well, and it's a really lightweight cab too.
It's big and it's lightweight. Like you were saying, his brother would like carried it one hand up the stairs. Two stairs. Yeah, and
2 flights. Yeah,
2 flights,
cool.
and it was like no problem. It was cool. It was a really like that's the go-to move. If you can share gear, do it. It was cool. It sounded good, and just basically used my stripped down rig just because it's like, getting there is kind of a bitch, and parking sometimes. Luckily, actually, you found parking right away.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's always like a toss up. Sometimes you're gonna have to like, I'm gonna park like 10 blocks away or whatever. But
I was fortunate because like the meter was like I think it ended at like 6:00.
Yeah,
and I pulled up at like 5:57. I'm like waiting, just to make sure it's gonna turn off, like the red light is blinking, and then it's like blink, 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 and then off. I'm like, oh hell yeah!
I got parking like right up front.
It was like 100 feet down, not even 100 feet down the way.
But no, it's cool. So we brought light gear and stuff like that. Anyway, that was cool. And then the day after, actually before I go into that, we talked about using the rubberneck for the show and adding more noise to the show. How did that turn out for you?
It was good. I think there needs to be something else. We need to add on to it.
Yeah, we went from a Pedal Train Nano to a Pedal Train Nano Plus.
Yeah, and so get one more pedal on there. You probably get 2 more pedals actually, but with the rubberneck, it's wider.
Yeah. No, yeah. If you had even if you change a couple of those to minis or something like that. But
so what my problem was, I would hold down on the self oscillate, right? It would start regenning like crazy, and then I'd take my foot off and it'd be like abrupt end. I'm like, like let's say it's 2 seconds before you start playing. It was
it's
like
just done.
I'm like, should have had like a reverb, or I don't know. You had said reverb.
Yeah,
adding it into right because
so the whole thing is that if you heard last time, so we're trying to add more like noise and like ambience in between songs
just to take up the silence.
Make it a show instead of like, there's not a whole lot of downtime between songs, but it's like, okay, you can't always just like banter with the crowd because that's just sometimes it's hack, It's like, no, it's like make it a soundscape or whatever. And I think it's cool, especially with all the pedals and stuff that we like. And so we use the DoD rubberneck just to keep it safe because I'm like, okay, instead of jumping to a junior that we can't properly power at the time,
Yeah.
let's just add one more pedal to this or whatever. But I have ideas to like, okay, adding maybe reverbs or like some type of modulation, maybe more, or trims or hard pan, like just in the effects loop of the Rubberneck. So the Rubberneck DoD has a TRS, input for an effects loop, and then you can do TS Y cable out, so you can put like a pedal chain going. So you can add, I don't know, you can add as many pedals as you want. So you can have like maybe like, I would say like a reverb trim going, and they're always on. So, but they're only activated when you put the pedal on. But we have to see if there's trails. Johnny was mentioning trails.
There's a trail switch on there,
but we have to maybe turn.
I think
it up. Maybe we didn't have it cranked, so maybe if you take it off, so it'd be like.
Well, I had the time down so that if I took my foot off, it wouldn't be, let's say since I was nervous, I'd have to take my foot off of the regen switch and then turn the pedal off.
Yeah.
'Cause I wouldn't want it still going like, so I turned the time down, but had the regen. There's like a trim pot right next to it, or like an external, and a little mini, and I turned that shit all the way up.
We got some dialing in to do, but I think it was cool. I like the idea of like adding more stuff for you to play.
Yeah.
All right, and then the day after that show, I played a show with Just In Case. So the band that I play bass in at Go Lounge.
You're just getting all type of stage time.
I know. I'm just playing like crazy. Played with the Aborts. So Steve Mike and Brian Wilder from Hardly Human are also in the Aborts.
Okay.
And it was cool. It was a fun show. It wasn't the best. It was a cool show, fun hangs and stuff like that. It wasn't the best. There's some things that weren't the greatest. The sound was hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because we've played there before with Plane, and we know that it's like, okay, this is like whatever. And then Brian had talked to the person who set up the show and talked to them about technical parts. Because like, yet again, as I had mentioned, Brian feels more confident in playing and stuff like that if he can use his in-ears, because he has them, use them to hear the mix and like hear what's going on with guitar, with vocals. I mean, you're already miking it and stuff like that. This club had like a 16-channel like snake to the board.
Yeah.
16 channels is plenty for a punk band. So he's like, I got a kick, I got just an overhead, 2 vocals, bass, guitar.
Done.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I need. And just give me that mix into my in-ears. And honestly, like, it was just, everything kept fucking up. There was channels that were dead, things kept cutting out. And Brian's like
people didn't know the equipment.
No,
so it was hard.
So it was like back and forth. So it was like, honestly, like for the front of house, everybody's like, yeah, it sounded great. And then Brian was like, fuck, I can't only get bass. And he was like, you could tell he was stressing out. And so by, you work through it. So by like these couple songs in, he's like, I'm just going to earplugs, throw them out, earplugs in.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is what we should have just done in the first place. It's a small bar, tiny, maybe like 50 capacity.
Well, it's good that you guys had that backup at least.
Yeah. And
honestly,
it's like, we're a punk band and we're all punk, like for like Plane and Just In Case, like we know how to play with no monitors. It's just a luxury. If you can have it, and we tried to make it work to go DI out of the bass, and I brought the 2 notes so that Adam could use it. Didn't work. Anyways, whatever. Keep on going. And that's always the backup plan.
Yeah.
So you can just keep on going. There's no stopping. It was a cool show. I borrowed cabs, and so I used your SVT3 Pro head, and I used it with Brian Wilder, the bass player from A-Board's Hardly Human. He brings a mega rig every time. He's just like, if I'm showing up, I'm fucking showing up. And so he brought a 15 SVT cab, one by 15, and then he brought a 410 Bergatino bass cab, and it was like that 410 bass cab is like 900 or 1,000 watts handling. It's crazy. And then we like chained them. And it was just like, I was like not used to having this like low end and also like that. And I was like, damn, I'm trying to EQ it and make this happen. And to me, I'm like, don't want to also, because you could easily just like boom, blow everybody out in the small bar. And so on stage, I'm like, oh shit, well, it sounds good. Everybody says it sounds fine. And so always my go-to, Johnny Ray showed up. And I'm like, okay, Johnny, how did it sound? He's like, good. I'm like, you're not just saying that? He's like, no, it sounded good. I'm like, well, there were some certain parts that were like either like clicky or whatever, like you can hear like certain like the higher frequencies of like your pick or your the fret noise. And he's like, you didn't hear it? I was like, no. I mean, by the time like it's I was right next to the speaker. It's like, no, you could probably hear it because of the horn and stuff, but I'm like, out here you can't. So it's like,
All right.
you can't always like judge yourself and be too judgy about your tone, because the thing is, like, out there and in the mix, it is what it is.
I judge it by how many people say I rule. You know, I'm like, oh yeah. Just tally it down.
But yeah, no, it was cool. It was a fun show, but it ended up being like, not to be too bad about the area or whatever, but it was like a free show, so people can just come in, check out the bands and stuff like that. But it's in not the best part of town.
Yeah,
I'll preface it that way. And so the whole point was, it's like, oh, Brian, we get off stage, Brian packs up all his drums and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, cool, I'll throw it in my car, and then I'm gonna watch the other band because we're friends with them.
Yeah, as soon as they're done, you'll jet off.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, because that's the best scenario. It's like, check them out, cool, and we let them like use the drum rug or whatever.
Yeah,
and then cool, and then we just rolled that up and then throw it in the car. I'm out of here, baby. But the thing is, there was several people that started hanging out at the bar that I'm like, you're not here for a show, are you?
Yeah.
The shopping carts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The drinking 40s outside in the parking lots and stuff like that. And then they start just hanging around Brian's car as he's putting expensive drums and cymbals into his car.
Yeah.
And so we're like, fuck. Once he got it all loaded up, like, 2 or 3 people are hanging out, just sitting right outside of his car. And it's like, not to be like, I'm like, I told, I'm telling you next time. ITY, dude, I'm telling you. You need to, I'm like, don't pack up your stuff and leave it in your vehicle. Because I'm like, those people could easily smash a window when you're in there, maybe just watching a song.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So we ended up just like, not to like judge people. And I know it's terrible to judge people, but you can never be too safe with your gear. So here's a lesson to be learned for people. Be careful of your gear. Don't leave stuff in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I heard this once, and a friend said, like, anything that you leave in your car, you might as well just leave on the street.
Yeah.
If you're fine with leaving, half-eaten bag of Cheetos on the street, then that's fine. Leave it in your car. But your guitars or basses or drums and amps and stuff like that, don't leave them in your vehicle. So anyways, we weren't too far away from the door, so we were able to hear the band A-boards. They sounded great from outside, and we were just kind of like, night shift watching the drums and stuff like that. And it was like, ended up being okay. Nothing happened. But it was like, kind of sketchy scenario where it's like, oh, cool, where you weren't here a while ago, but once you saw me loading up drums, now you're kind of accumulating in here and moved your carts right next to my car.
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
It's sketchy. It is, and if I'd rather err on the side of caution than to be like, Brian, everything's peace and love, man. Everybody's cool. I mean, I could break into Brian's car right now and take stuff. Like, so anybody can. I think about that. Anyway, so that's a little word of the wise. It was a fun show. We got to hang out. We just didn't get to watch the band, but we got to hear them and stuff like that. And so I feel bad, kind of a little bit, to not watch the band. But the circumstances of that. If you're in sketchy areas and places that you don't know, don't put stuff in your vehicle and leave it there. If you're on tour too, I always hear the stories. These are the worst. People leave their stuff and load up their whole van of passports and laptops and iPads and their whole everything.
And they go do something.
And then they go into the hotel. We have never done that. We've never done, and people say, you're crazy, man. You're too, paranoid. Well, it hasn't happened to us.
Yeah.
We've always had, we'd get a hotel. If we were like, 4 people, 3 people are in the hotel, 1 person sleeping in the van.
Yeah, we've done that.
We've always done that. It's always like different shifts.
It sucks, but
or we're all 4 sleeping in the van.
Yeah.
But it's nothing's happened yet. So I don't know. And then also, like, there's a Reddit DIY touring and stuff like that. It's like a good thing to do is like get a, tinted out windows for sure, and then black out, like curtains or black blankets and stuff like that.
Everything.
Completely cover everything. Because if people can't see anything, they're not going to want to risk like breaking into a car. They can see something like, oh, that's a drum case or that's a guitar case.
Oh, I can see a wallet right there.
Or like, oh, I
can see the thing I'm going for.
I see a laptop bag hanging out.
Or the shape of a guitar case, like you said.
Yeah. It's like cool because you can steal a guitar and you can probably get $100 for it. $50, whatever. $50, like anything's a come up when you're, just trying to, when you're stealing stuff. And it's terrible. These are, I don't know, this is a bad story. Sorry. It was a fun show. It was just one thing that it made it a little weird. And that we, like, a lesson to be learned that Brian and I were like, why did he was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? So always a good way to think. So let's move on to, a couple topics. What do you say?
No, I don't want to.
No, we're done. Let's cut it early.
I mean, since you're leaving it up to me, then okay, fine.
You asked me a question. I told you an answer.
I'm honest, okay?
You like that, pal? Honest Abe, more like honest
Newman.
Oh, okay. All right. I got nothing to follow that up with. We did a call out for topics on Instagram and our Facebook group, just because I'm like, it's actually been a while since we've done that.
Yeah.
We haven't done it since April. I'm like, yeah, it's a long time.
Sometimes we need to lean on someone.
Well, yeah, and also I think
everyone.
I like it for the group the interaction between people, and not just necessarily because of like we can't come up with topics. I have topics. We can do that.
Well, geez, Mr. Topic Man.
Yeah, catch a popsicle. Do a topics and white clubs. All
right.
Anyway, so we're gonna crank on through
rough one.
Some of these. Hey, they're not all.
Is that crank on through to the other side? Is that how?
Some of them, it's got to be cheesy. So let's start with Instagram first. I have Lollygagger Effects.
Who's that dude?
No, I don't know. But he asks, how old is too old to be a punk? Is that a punk rocker or a punk bitch?
I don't know. What is it, Brian?
You could always be a punk bitch.
Yeah.
I'm 31. I'm still a punk bitch.
Yeah, because we're not really punk.
I don't know. Punk rock, I think, so
like when we go to a show, we see dude wearing
always,
like the cutoff jacket and like the patches and like the skinhead, like
it's still like it's
that guy's punk.
It's it's totally a
fucking Liberty spikes and shit.
If you wanted to be a fashion sense, it totally can be. But then again, there's also like, we can still be. I don't know. You can like punk rock still and not have to like be the look.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's.
Would you have like bands like I don't like them, but Bad Religion and they're still killing it.
Yeah, they'll sell out House of Blues. Like there's 2,000 people, they'll play, no problem.
I guess it's all relative to how cool you are.
Yeah, I mean, you could always like punk rock. You could always be into new punk rock. I'm doing my best to try and get into newer pop punk. Yeah, and so Justin Shack.
Old dude, you're an old dude trying to listen to the new stuff.
Kinda, yeah. I'm trying to listen.
How's it going, Brian?
Good, actually. Yeah, the first. I mean, was it
name some bands? What do you listen to?
The Story So Far is actually, the Story So Far. I've actually just been listening to them.
You started listening
this last week. I've already I think some of the bands that we know are like them a lot. No, I've always heard the name.
Yeah,
and I've like seen it on shirts and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I get that it's a band. Cool. I understand that reference probably. And then like when I've
been doing enough Hot Topics to know.
Yeah,
that
when I finally started listening to them, and I'm digging them. They're really cool. So, anyways, I don't know. There's always new music. There's always new music that you can get into. So if you're into like punk and you want to be a punk or punk rock or whatever, it's like fucking just go out to shows, go see bands, listen to music, and it's all great. It's all gravy, baby. You're never too old. I don't think there's. I don't think you could ever be too old.
I'm just gonna put a number. Let's say 41.
Yeah,
42.
My dad still listens to The Clash.
Your dad listens to, was it X? That one?
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty punk.
Yeah. I mean, he listens to X and like Dead Kennedys and like the Ramones. But this is my dad. He calls them, they're new wave.
Oh, yeah. He uses the new wave.
Yeah. He says like, they're new wave.
No, Dad, Enya is new wave.
He's like, they're new wave because they're on Sirius's new wave channel.
Oh, God. That's the problem with this country. Everyone tries to classify everything.
Well, the thing is, I like it that I like that he doesn't classify anything. He's like, that's what it is, and I listen to it. I like it. It's like music he grew up listening to. He was never. Then again, that's a perfect example. My old man, he was never like, I'm a punk. I'm listening to this. No, he listened to that stuff because he liked it.
Yeah.
You can, I guess, not be a punk, but you can still like punk music. He's like, yeah, I listened to that and Beastie Boys, and then I listened. It's like he liked music. And that's what it was to him. It's like, yeah, it's new wave because it came out at the same time as new wave. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on Sirius, satellite radio. It's on the new wave channel. I like new wave. That's what it is. It's so Dead Kennedys to my dad is new wave. So you see somebody like wearing a Dead Kennedys shirt, or I think our buddy Train has a Dead Kennedys tattoo, and my dad's like, "Oh, and I know that band.
That's a pretty neat band.
That's neat." I was listening to that.
That's not how your dad sounds at all.
No, he does not. No.
Well,
it ain't right.
That might be closer.
That's probably actually closer. Anyway, so on Instagram, Ben Bly, he says, "Who is best girl?" So it's a anime question. So who's the favorite girl from the anime?
Probably Lifa.
So from the only anime
the
you
only
watched?
anime I ever watched. Yeah.
Well, Mitsuha from Your Name.
Yeah, it'd probably still be Lifa.
But Lifa, yeah. Ah, damn, I got too many.
Well, pick one, please.
Last season, probably Raftalia from Rising of the Shield Hero, which I'm super stoked on. So that's like a 24 episode series that went through, and it was really popular. It was cool. So in case you don't know, Kyle, I'm letting you know.
Thank you.
And it was like the Crunchyroll Expo last weekend. They dropped the news that they are already confirmed for season 2 and 3 of the show.
Did you go to that?
No, it was like just on my phone.
Where was that?
It was in San Jose.
What?
I know.
It's actually pretty far away.
Yeah, it's not close, but it's also like. Anyways, I think it's really cool. So it's a show
That's only 800 miles away. Why didn't you go?
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's a show I really dug this last season, and Raftalia was one of my favorites. She's on a shirt that I have, and then yeah. So when I saw that, I got the news. I was like, "Oh shit!" I think
Where were you?
We were hanging out in your garage. Like, "Oh fuck!" And you're like, "What?" I'm like,
"You're not gonna give a damn."
If I told you, it's not gonna matter. I'm like, "Yeah." What was it that you said?
Is it an anime thing?
No. You said, "Yeah." Anything that you say is gonna be fucking stupid and important because it's coming out of your fucking mouth. And I was like, God damn, you got me roasted. There's no one around, no mics on, and I just got fucking straight roasted.
Yeah.
It was fucking good.
Damn.
But anyways, yeah. So
should I write that down for next time?
Ben Blee. Yeah, Raftalia probably, or Sakura from Zombieland Saga. So those are the current ones, and obviously Sinon is the best. So we're moving on.
We didn't ask for 3. Who's the best?
I couldn't pick. Okay, so this is tethered to the pole star.
Yeah.
He asked, round third strings. Discuss. So that's your
the
G,
round wound
your
third
G,
string.
Yeah, your G.
Yeah.
Normally they're plain strings, so like your E and B, or high E and B, are the plain strings instead of being round. Wound, yeah.
Round wound.
Yeah. I never really actually played those except for I think Ko's is because he gets them from Stringjoy, his strings, like custom sets. I was like, oh, cool. What strings are on these? 10.5. I'm like, God damn it. Custom strings. I just play like whatever pack Diodario has, or like Ernie Ball, whichever I can afford at the time. 10 to 52s. And those ones all have the regular plain strings, so the unwound strings for the G, the third string. I'm not too familiar, except for my acoustics. My acoustics all have the wound G, because they're all at least 12 or 13 gauge on my acoustics. I don't know. I guess I'm not
I don't think I've ever noticed before.
Yeah? You just put whatever's on there?
Yeah, I mean...
all my guitars are cut for...
if we're talking bass, I mean...
Oh, they're all wound.
Oh.
But it's... I don't know. I don't know what the benefit is, really. I guess if you're comfortable with it...
Does it have more twang to it, or what?
I think it has less shimmer to it.
Okay.
And the most common conception is that the lighter the string gauge, the easier it is to on your. Okay, there's two things. It's easier to bend, but it's harder on your fingers because they're thinner, obviously. So if there's more tension on it to get it up to pitch, and it's a thinner string, that means it's gonna be tighter. But it's also a thinner gauge, so you don't have to bend as much. But it's more comfortable on your fingers to, like, say, bend A or D on your guitar because they're wound and they're thicker. So if you wanted to, like, just whoa all day, you can do that on A and D, no problem. But if you do it up on B, the idea is if you don't have much on your calluses or whatever, it might be harder.
Cut yourself or something.
Yeah, it's something that I never get too crazy about. The only real concern that I have for my string gauge is that I want, I do like the lighter strings up top because when I do my one of two blues licks that I know,
yeah,
I want them
play
bending.
that blues lick,
but or I do the lick. That's all I do.
Dun, 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 dun.
I do those. I do those licks and throw like phaser, delay, and reverb on it, and people think that I know how to solo. And then, whereas
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
So just now.
Yeah, and then people they
Childhood
don't know.
ruined.
And then, but I want a thicker gauge on my 6, 5, and 4 string. So your E, A, D.
Yeah.
Just because I'm doing more chugs and then playing, more maybe chords. But I'm also like, I want the string to snap back. I don't want it to be like, hey, we're super loose. Hey, yeah, boom,
You want to have more tension on
yeah,
it.
that's kind of my go-to. And
All
I
right.
play with a heavier pick, so like a 1.14. So I want them to be, snapping back. It's kind of the reason why, on bass you like to play with thicker strings because
Yeah.
you're not trying to like bend and solo on this thing.
Just want a solid bass line.
So I guess to answer that, we don't have too much experience with the wound.
I don't have any, so
I guess just acoustics. And the thing is that you don't even pay attention to it, really.
yeah.
Maybe that's something I need to try. So maybe I should try some string joys, or I think Gabriel Tenorios.
Yeah, Stringjoy. They're pretty cool company.
Woo! So the next question is, how hot is it in San Diego today? I was
80
inside most of the day today.
Yeah. So was I, with no insulation and no AC.
Okay, yeah, I was outside up until like around 8:30 when I was unloading a truck. So
Yeah.
the whole point is when I'm unloading furniture and stuff like that is like get it done as quick as you can. Bum, 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 ba, da, ba, da, bum, bum, ba, da, bum, bum. And I was like, okay, just get it all out off the truck. The guy's gone. Get out of here, pal. And then get it all inside our warehouse just so I can close up those doors and let the AC do its work.
Well, it's like, and it's covered in that area.
Yeah, it's humid. And,
yeah, and there were no cloud cover today.
Oh, today I'm like, yeah, not to get into too much. Hey, it's a hot cast. It's very close to a sewage treatment plant.
Oh no!
And when it's hot, muggy, and then that stank, bro,
and then
in the morning,
offshore winds, or onshore winds. So in this part of California, we have the air blowing from east to west sometimes. Santa Ana's, that's what they call them, and it's not as dry right now, but the wind is still blowing that way.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, it was blowing like that crazy. But if it's like a nice breeze,
yeah. So I got some of that this morning.
You know what's weird is I guess you say it's hot and that happens, but when it's cold, it also like in the morning when everyone's flushing their toilets and shitting, and it sometimes you get there. Let's say when I worked at the mall, you show up at like 5 a.m. or like 6 a.m. You're like, whoa, God.
It's like,
And there's also the dump, which is like in a different direction, far away.
But it's the same.
It depends on where the wind's coming.
Wind pattern.
Oh my
wind pattern.
God! Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad, but it's been humid, and that's the thing that it's not the humidity. It's the humidity.
So those of you think that La Jolla is really nice and hoity-toity, certain parts smell like shit.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. So it's definitely hotter around this time, but looks like it should cool off in the next. I'm like, weather reporter, Jesus Christ. It should cool off by next week. But today was supposedly, according to the shit FM radio, was like one of the hottest it's ever been.
Well, it rained yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere.
Was it like, it's not too bad. It's like 80, 90, something like that.
It was like 87.
So it's not, yeah, but it's the humidity.
The rain coming down was hot.
Yeah.
So it's like we live in the tropics.
Yeah.
It was just really interesting.
So it's not too bad. I mean, we're dealing with it. It's September and it's hot. I guess summer was great, pretty much.
Yeah, until this last like couple weeks.
Yeah, man, summer was killer. Oh, it's great, man. Don't move to San Diego. It's great.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was good stuff. Okay, so this one I did not quite grasp, but I'll read it anyway because I think we can answer.
There might be a translation.
At least at least I can answer part of it. So from Tethered to the Polestar says, beer is the same effect playing drink. What's the perfect snack? Oh, you can answer what's the perfect snack. I don't know what he was trying to ask with the beer stuff.
Maybe drinking while playing.
Yeah,
is it the same as drinking like hard alcohol?
No, beer is the way to go. Always just drink a beer, maybe 2 as the most when you're playing a show.
Yeah.
And watch those shots after the show. God damn.
Yeah.
They'll fuck you up.
Someone's speaking from experience.
Oh, man, this last show. A friend I haven't seen in a while. She came out to the show, bought me shots. I was like, God damn. This is showing my ass. I was just like, could not hang. I should have easily, you can just say no. I'm like, oh, can I buy you a drink? No, that's fine.
Yeah. I had 2. And I don't know, that show,
but I
did not feel good.
Those shots are not good. Oh, yeah, your stomach too?
Stomach was feeling bad.
Anyways.
A beer usually fixes that wrong.
What's the perfect snack? If you had to just just go to that question, I can answer that.
Perfect snack. I mean, there's so many. Fuck.
I like peanut butter toast. That's probably the best.
Oh, you're thinking of like...
slice of peanut butter toast, boom, go to... I mean, okay, what, chips? I like chips.
Say fucking Oreos. Jesus.
Oh, God, no. I'm not sweet. I don't like sweet.
I know you're fucking...
You're bitter.
Sour, that's what you are.
Oh, got him. Chips. I guess you could do chips. Sun chips. Good way to go.
Oh, yeah. Sun chips, salsa, the garden salsa one.
You just go regular is cool, too. Sour cream, onion. No.
Or the French onion.
Yeah, there you go.
I know them all, dude. The cheddar.
Yeah, cheddar's good.
But the salsa, garden salsa.
Yeah.
So good.
Let's crush a bag of those. 4 bags of those.
Get the big bag.
Get the big bag. Oh, man. What's your least favorite chip?
Just like the plain Lay's. Those are horrible.
I can't even believe those still exist.
Yeah. Oh, but the ruffles of those really good. No, the ruffle cheese, cheddar of pretty fucking addicting.
Yeah, those are really good.
It's like
I'm not a huge fan of barbecue chips either.
What?
Those are like, God, what are you doing?
I like the baked barbecue ones.
I think all barbecue can just go to
Yeah, well, I think you can go to hell.
All right. So, tethered to the Polestar also asks, which pedal brand could you use to make a complete board from? I think that's more of a deep dive topic. Yeah. So we'll
bring it up again.
We're gonna put a pin in that, and we're gonna come back to that one. But this one here. So, cheapest fuzz versus the most expensive. What are you getting for your money?
Does he mean fuzz, like ones that we've played? I'm guessing.
I think our fuzz pedals that we have. I think my most expensive fuzz pedal is the shitbox from Lamp Electric.
Yeah, and that was because it was like custom.
Kind of, but also there's a lot. I mean, they're like $200-something.
All right, yeah, before.
All hand wired. Shit. And so you kind of get the experience of working with Tucker and stuff like that he's like building your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And he made it custom. He worked with Worthy's acid edging.
Yeah.
To make it Nico from Love Live. And then he made it it was cool. He worked on it and like he changed the LEDs to match and stuff like that. It was a cool experience. And like, but the thing is, this is a fuzz pedal that, I mean, I'm not too familiar with fuzz, but I want to say it's like, I don't know, maybe a muff style, like very bass heavy kind of fuzz to start out, but you hit the shit switch and that's when it goes to town. That's when it starts going like we've posted tons of videos on our Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. It goes bonkers. It's wild, man. And it's fun. And then to me, I'm like, that's so much more of a fuzz that I want. And not to say, the Pelotar and Half Horse that I have are actually probably a little bit more usable.
Definitely.
But that's my most expensive one is the shitbox. And I can get so many sounds, weird, wacko sounds out of that.
I'll cover the cheap one then.
With the cheap one, I mean, obviously, like I think we have the kitty of our pedals. We're gonna pull from the cheap fuzz.
Cheapest is I'd say the blue box.
Yeah,
I have 2. So one I got I think at like a standard like I think $60 or $70 for, and that one I've modded. And then the other one I got for like 35 or around.
Hell of a deal.
It's a script also, which usually go for like 90 to 120.
Yeah.
And the guy thought it was broken. Okay, anyways, got it for a really good price. Nothing's wrong with it because it does one sound and like one sound only, but
it's like
really
a glitchy
good.
Kind of
sounds like a video game fuzz. And so the guy probably was like, "Oh, I think the thing's broken." I'm like,
"That's what it does.
That's the noise.
That's what it does."
So I would say that's the cheapest one in our repertoire.
And it's cool because it does the one sound. I think with fuzz pedals, maybe you have to know what their niche is.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most, maybe like the more fun things about fuzz pedals that I just haven't bought into quite.
I have a Carcosa fuzz. I have some other ones,
You
but
have the Tone Mob, the Solid Gold.
Solid Gold.
That one's really good because it's kind of like drive and fuzz. You can dial it to where it's like an overdrive and it's Marshall-y kind of sounding. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm seeing it with the knobs, but it's great design, great company, and the fuzz part of it actually sounds good.
I have a fuzz that was like a hand-built one from Joseph from Like My Pedals.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
And that one's great too, but I guess cheapest one would still be that.
It's still the blue box.
Blue box.
Yeah.
No, it's just a unique one. I think that, for your bang for your buck, it's like isolated. It's by itself, which is kind of cool.
I don't know. With fuzz pedals, you kind of discover what each one of them can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. So, I don't know. I think when you get a more expensive one, you kind of want ones that have certain features that others don't, I guess. Especially, I paid $200-something for that pedal. And it was also because it had, a custom graphic on it. And all right, so let's move on to the Facebook topics here.
Okay.
So Johnny Ray asks, any favorite kids' cartoons or movies that you'd gladly watch now as an adult? So what are some of the old school ones that you...
I like to, I guess, revisit movies that when you're a kid.
Oh, yeah, to see if they're still good.
Yeah, and see if they're still good. I don't know if I mentioned it. I watched, was it Surf Ninjas?
Okay.
Which I don't think you've ever seen.
Never seen.
It's on YouTube, like the worst quality ever, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
It's just a stupid story, stupid move, but as a kid you're like, hell yeah, these guys are they're like surfer guys from Orange County and they somehow are like great at martial arts. But there you go. I set it up. You guys have to watch it now. I guess
Dragon Ball Z obviously still fucking translates.
Yeah.
There's still people obsessed with it.
I don't know.
Let's see. I still like, a lot of like Disney movies is like Nightmare Before Christmas. I like that. That's still like a good watch. I watch it with my nephew.
Yeah.
I like, I guess it's not like movies from when I was a kid, but kid movies because I'm watching them with Emery. Moana was good.
I actually did enjoy that movie.
It was a good
movie. I watched
movie.
it by myself, a grown-ass man, though.
I watched it with him, and I'm like, this is a good movie. I'm like, I like this. Is he going to get that claw thing back? Oh, he did. There's a big crab. Oh, shit.
Is a hook, by the way.
Okay.
The fish hook.
What'd you call me? Yeah, so I guess that was one. I'm trying to think of other ones. I didn't go see with him, but my sister took him, and he's obsessed with Toy Story now. He loves Buzz Lightyear.
Was there a new Toy Story that came out?
Toy Story 4, and that's the one he just saw, and he's obsessed with it.
Dang.
And I'm like, yeah, so he,
it's going to be like Star Wars, and you guys start them at the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, Toy Story. I did like Toy Story. Incredibles was
man,
good.
I love Toy Story.
Incredibles.
I didn't realize there's a fourth one.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I'm not gonna go see a Toy Story movie
in
theaters by myself. But then I will go see an anime movie.
And they're not gonna stream on Netflix, right? They have their own service.
I heard that they're doing their own streaming service.
Yeah,
so they're pulling all these. They're probably gonna pull all the Marvel movies and stuff.
Yeah,
onto their own thing. So
I'm trying to think of other kids movies. Or like while I scroll through Netflix, like what are the shows I like or movies I like that are considered kids movies?
I still like, I don't know, it's cartoons. Rocko's Modern Life. It's still actually
that's not really a kids.
That's a kids show. I watched it when I was a kid.
Doesn't mean it was for kids.
It was Nickelodeon.
You watch Freddy Krueger. Doesn't mean it's a kids show.
No, it's totally a kids show. Totally like that works. Because SpongeBob, right? You watch that one.
Yeah, but that's not really a kids.
That's a kids show. It's a fucking. It's
not the innuendos. But yeah,
was that meant for adults?
Yeah, hell yeah. Not the animation part, but the one-liners. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a show that I guess has those. But I'm like, okay, SpongeBob, totally a kids show, right? That
I think I should start
worthwhile.
I'm adding that to my list. There you go.
Yeah,
I love SpongeBob.
I gotta watch that. Hey, Mr. Krabs.
Hey, Mr. Krabs. Yeah.
Fucking annoying bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and Rocko's Modern Life. I think that's still. I don't know. That was on Netflix for a minute, and then I probably
was it.
Yeah.
Dang.
And they took it off. I wonder if it's still on there. I have to check it out. But I remember I was going through it, and I was like, my sister, she had like texted me, she's like, "Oh, you never guessed what's on Netflix." Because I don't watch as much Netflix. Really?
Yeah.
I just don't watch that much TV. But she had texted me. I'm like, oh, I'm like, start cranking through this shit.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah,
I can't think of any more.
Don't really have a whole lot, but I like the Labyrinth, so I'd go off of Johnny's whole thing.
Yeah. I thought it first.
Oh, go on, man.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of stuff that wasn't really meant for kids as a kid, like Wayne's World. I watched that as a kid.
Yeah.
Watched that tons of times. I'm like, man, I love this movie. It's great. Tommy Boy, watched that tons of times as a kid.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, and I'm like, why did my dad let me watch this? All right, so Michael Newman asks, who do y'all decide who sings the lead on a song? I saw Kyle's leading in one of your Instagram posts, or am I maybe mistaken? So, yeah.
No, yeah, you were right.
You're correct. We both, I think we try and split it, down the middle. We don't really decide sets on, like, who has more songs, Brian or Kyle. It's really whatever songs we want to play.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten to a point now, especially with the band, we just like playing music. So it's less about egos and like trying to decide who sings lead on a song. But I guess the question was, who decides the lead? The way it has been mostly is whoever writes the lyrics for a song sings it.
Yeah.
And so, and if we're going to do a cover, it's whatever. If I bring a cover, I'm going to sing it. And if Kyle's going to bring a cover, he's going to sing it. But as far as the original songs go, that's usually how it's been. Because Kyle and I both have our own literal voice and we kind of know our range. And so we write songs in those ranges. And sometimes, especially now, it's been very collaborative to where we write songs and it could be like, oh, the whole band writes the music. And it's like, oh, Kyle, I have a song. I have lyrics for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe like, I'll be like, oh, I have lyrics for that. Or I'm like, you know what? I have this guitar part. Let's write the whole song around that. And then I have no lyrics. And then Kyle's like, oh, you know what? I got some. Let me see if I can change it around or whatever. Or he'll come up with a song and I'll, kind of edit the guitar parts or whatever I wanted, whatever works.
And we had a song where we actually split the lead on it. So we had the idea of like, all right, well, you sing the first part of the verse and then I'm going to sing the second and third part. And then...
Yeah. So it kind of goes into a pattern, but it's also... Yeah, that song in particular is called...
Spineless.
Spineless. It's on our newest album. It's on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. It's cool because it's a call and response kind of thing. Because the lyrics actually go into talking back and forth. If you listen to it and pay attention, it's like I play as a person and Kyle is talking to me like my inner like demons kind of thing. And instead of like the good and bad, I didn't know that. Like that kind of thing, like the good and the bad. He's like only the bad side of things talking to me. But because it's kind of cool that he has that voice that is smoother than mine and cleaner, it's kind of cool that he is saying more fucked up things to me in a nicer way. Whereas to my voice is more haggard and that's kind of how I sing. And so I like the back and forth. It's very cool. We want to do more of that, but then again too, it's like we don't want to force it just to be like, let's shoehorn this idea in because we want to have a song that sounds like that. Yeah. We'll let it happen when it happens. And so that we have no real rules when it comes to songs anymore. We ideally want them to be able to be played live, but we're actually not even letting that hold us back anymore because it's like, if we have song ideas and stuff like that make up a song that sounds cool, like I was telling Kyle and bouncing the ideas around, I'm like, if he came up because he's working on synths and stuff like that, I'm like, if we come up with synth parts that we can't replicate live, that's fine. It's a song. We just don't play it live. That's fine. Yeah. Because we have a shit ton of music that we could play for a set. Even if we play for 2 or 3 hours, we have enough music for that. We're fine. And it's like, if we write a song, let's not have that hold us back. So if there's ever times where it's like, oh, we write songs, I'm like, oh, you know what, Kyle, it'd be better if you sing these lyrics than me. That's cool. Or if I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm going to sing this part here. I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if I sang this, backup, or I'll sing the chorus. We have no real egos when it comes to this stuff. And I think that's a really cool place to be with your band, is you're opening yourself to creativity, not just shoehorning your own personal agendas and stuff like that. It's like, I need to have my songs being me in my way. It's just, I don't know. I think we're just really collaborative that way. So it's like, does this work or doesn't it? That's really what it is.
Yeah, and that's why practice is essential.
And we throw the ideas back and forth, and we haven't utilized it yet. But Brian, he's also a singer that sings lead and stuff like that. So we might have him doing stuff like that. We even played songs where it's like, oh, he can sing. He sings lead and just in case. Anyways,
it's funny. He sings while he's playing.
Yeah,
I can hear him singing.
I think it's just like our biggest thing is like, oh God, we got to step another mic.
Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of it. How it be. It do be like that in playing. We just like we whatever, throw it up there. It's like really easy going, and that's taken a decade of playing together.
Yeah.
And hopefully most people are mature enough to get to that point. It's like, be collaborative and create music for the best part of the song and best part of the performance. Don't just shoehorn in bullshit.
Short answer, if it sounds good, Michael Newman, that's what we go with.
It is good, and that's the way we're going with it. Okay, so from Sean Wright, I think he's from Lollygagger too. He got 2 questions.
Yeah, what the hell?
I love it. He asks, original or clone? Do you need the vibe of that old crusty, or do you dig the upgraded take on the old and crusty?
Well, for me, I want the old and crusty, but it depends on the old and crusty price.
Yeah.
And, not the same for everything, but is a new updated one, does it have more features? Is it actually better? Like,
is it,
can you buy, let's say, Tube Screamer, right? Dime a dozen, you can get the original for even, not, the original you can get pretty cheap.
Well, I mean, you can probably get the original for a couple $300, $400.
Well,
it's not going to break.
When I say the original, I mean one from Ibanez.
Oh, okay, not the very first
not
one.
The very first one. I'm sorry, the original effect from Ibanez. Maybe I should restructure that. Anyways, I don't care. Or you could get, let's say, like I just got the Earthquaker.
Yeah,
Tube Screamer.
Yeah, the plumes.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fine. And I got that for $100.
Yeah.
Right? I could try and chase down the original. Let's say 400, like the very original. Right?
Probably even more. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's like the old school 1981.
Or you can get a mini like you have, right? They have a bunch of different.
Well, and then, to me, the mini is not the original.
Don't they have like 20 different options of
I'm
that
sure they
from
have
Ibanez?
A shit ton. But the mini one is probably the best.
Yeah.
I like that one. Because I'm like, it's mini. It sounds great. It's cool. Oh my God.
Maybe that's a bad example, I guess, because that's like the most duplicated circuit.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, if somebody's doing a take, I mean, yeah, people do takes on like Rats or whatever. Are you going to pay, $300 for 1981 DRV or pay $100 something for
like a brand new
or a Walrus Iron Horse or whatever?
I think that's it. Yeah. Or $40 on the actual
original one.
Not the original.
Yeah, the actual
from the brand,
the company's own circuit. I probably would go with the original, unless the Walrus had a cool graphic,
or if yours was painted gold, really horribly.
Yeah, I like your.
Then I would want that.
Rat's pretty funny. It sounds great. It sounds fine, but it's like it really depends on what you're going for. It's also like reliability too.
Yeah,
like 'cause I think of old amps, and dead horse here, but I'm like, I love Orange, but I'm like, am I gonna want to play an old or 120 and like the 70s or even like some of the 90s ones had reliability issues, even like the OR 80s and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I don't want this thing's gonna fucking break all the time, and also like it doesn't have the features that I want. I want an effects loop, or I want it to fucking work. Whereas I'm like, some of the ohmage were wrong on some of the OR 80s of the 90s that were made by Gibson and Mad Amp and stuff like that. So like, okay, well, fuck. Would I rather have that or an 8030 that is working?
Yeah,
and correct.
They've worked out all the bugs.
Yeah, and that might, I don't know. It's really the original. Like, I don't know. It might. It's a lot of it is mojo, which a lot of the mojo gets lost in shows.
Okay. What about
Like, I guess I think about it as a performance side of things. The mojo gets lost because I'm like, okay, the last show that we played, I played my, SG beat up Evertuned, so that's not even traditional, into a fractal, into an orange. Like, I'm not playing a really traditional setup, and people are like, oh, okay, whatever. It sounds fine. It sounds good. You're playing okay into a solid state tube preamp amp that is the size of like, going up to your ankles here. It sounds great, right? It's not an Ampeg 810 from like the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna like throw your back out every goddamn time you're lifting it. It's like, I don't know. It really is a fine line. I don't know.
Well, what about guitar? So let's say a Fender, and then like a GNL or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. If we're thinking like the like old school relic stuff, I would be like, I would have a newer one. But no, I would rather have the original one. I think we've talked about this before, but it's like, would I rather have a Fender knockoff or a Fender? A Fender, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's features on it that they don't have.
Yeah.
Like, okay, some of the...
Let's see, you couldn't customize it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they don't customize things.
Yeah, they just buy them as as they are. Like Gibsons, there's hollow bodies I really want and think are cool, and we went into that last time. It's like, they're not, cut out, and they're shitty.
They're not meant to modify yourself.
No, and they're really more of an art piece in certain aspects than they are in the practicality of it. But I'm like, okay, cool. Could you do an Ibanez hollow body or like a Starcaster hollow body from Fender to get like an ES 335? I want a 335, but probably not going to get one. So I can get a Starcaster kind of build.
Yeah.
And that would get me a semi-hollow body kind of sound and feel. And then, or I can do an Ibanez, and they do Tolmans and stuff like that in semi-hollow bodies. I'm like, that would be kind of cool. Or I can do like, Jennings or Built. Those might be more expensive, but it's also like in a different way. They're doing their own take on it, which are improving upon certain things that Gibson do. Or they're just completely different design, which has maybe an aspect that you want out of this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me, I'm like, I want it to be a bigger body and semi-hollow and be playable. And so if you can take those aspects and throw it into a different design, that would be cool, because you're also supporting a different company than,
the big guys.
The big guy. Not that you're like, oh, Gibson's bad. I got 3 of them. But it's also like, oh, be nice to have something like Jennings or Equits. Be like, that'd be nice. And you can get what you want because you're ticking the 3 boxes that you wanted.
So do you consider Music Man as a clone, or is it its own thing? I mean, it's kind of weird because
certain models are their own thing.
Because they had
the Stingray is completely its own thing.
Yeah, but like the Cutlass, guitars are just like a Strat.
Yeah, and I think
at least in a lot of their setup, but not their looks, obviously.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. It's really, I think we're getting off the rails of a clone or whatever, but it's also I think there's certain design aspects and parts that are their own that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd be like, oh, if you threw like
the bridges are different, but pretty much the pickup
kind of, but it's like, okay, it could be similar sounding. It's like
the construction's better, but it looks similar. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched a rig rundown of the Yvette Young. I can't remember what her band is called, but I just saw. I'm like, oh, she plays ground control pedals. I thought it was cool. She also has a finger tapping kind of style and stuff like that. Kind of similar to like sounding of like Polyphia and stuff like that. Anyways, she plays like a 3-coil Strat setup, but on a Talman from Ibanez.
Okay.
So it's S style, but it doesn't look like a Strat.
Yeah.
So it has some of those like features. And I was like, yeah, that is basically a Strat because it has the 5-position stuff like that, but it has its own look. And I like it. They look so killer. I'm like, she has like tangerine colored sparkle ones with like, maple necks and like, vintage finish on it looking type thing. She has like these lime colored sparkle ones. And I'm like, those look so much cooler than Strats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in that point, yeah, I guess it's, I don't have a stance unless it's like taking certain aspects and making them cooler.
Well, for me, I like to go for the original first. And if that's unattainable, then I'll go for the next best thing.
Or
I
if
guess.
there's, I don't know, if two things are ticking the right boxes.
Yeah, okay. There's that.
Because
Also.
I'm like, oh, I want to have these type of pickups. I want to have this type of like, scale length. I want to have it like these type of woods and stuff like that. And to me, like those make up the guitar that I want. But I'm like, which is cooler, this Strat made by Fender or this, Talman made by Ibanez? Well, the Talman has cooler looks, cooler like headstock. It's more unique. It's its own thing. You'd like, to me, like as hipster as I don't want to admit that I am, I would be like, I would be more unique playing that Talman than I would be if I played a Strat.
Yeah.
Because Strats, that current example, it's like, oh, a double humbucker kind of, mahogany body kind of thing is a Gibson Les Paul. But I'm like, if I can find something that's Les Paul taste, but somewhere else,
then
I would probably rather do that. So it's kind of
the same money, but you get more for it, or
or I don't know,
you're playing in a different game, or I don't know,
something like that. And there's, I don't know, everything's. We could talk about this forever. It's a good topic, John. Maybe we'll have to come back.
We should come back to that.
Let's see. Michael Newman says we should do just dad jokes. I think we do that all the time, but I think I want to
we want to leave that for the group.
I want to have an episode where I bring my dad on. I had we have Mr. Gower come on to the episode and do tone jerks episode. And then Brett Alexander says me, and Adam Rohr also says Brett. So
shit, that's 2 for Brett.
He's a cool dude. I think we talk about him. He's last time he suggested it. He's a party dude.
Yeah.
He's always down to party. He's a cool guy. And then that was about it. Ko had mentioned his show, but we already talked about it. So I think that's about it. We want to thank you guys for all the topics.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The questions and stuff like that. I think these are fun. These are always cool because you guys get to get involved and we get to hear different sides and different questions from people.
Yeah, and know where we're fucking up and not covering things.
Yeah, and so some of these things we need to revisit again and maybe deeper dive on. So, before we head on out of here, thank you guys for tuning in to the Tone Jerks podcast. And if you guys like what you hear and want to get involved and maybe answer, or ask your own questions and suggest topics, you can do so, on social media. Go join the Facebook group, search the Tone Jerks, you guys will find it. And if you guys follow us on Instagram, you'll see all the stories and posts that we do, and you guys can, even just, slide into the DMs and give us a topic if you want.
Oh, no.
Hey, now. And then if you guys really like what you hear, you guys can help support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you guys double down for $2 a month, you guys get an extra episode every week. And just for, supporting the show, I want to give you guys a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle has a list. He's going to give it to me.
All right. We have Brett Alexander, Stephen Conrad.
Oh, he's mentioned twice.
Yeah, we're talking about him again. Doug King, Andrew Walsh, Michael Newman, Adam Rohr from the Let 'Em Hear podcast, Bruce Banana, Colin Smith, Doug Gann, Aaron Taylor, Jason Fuzzmonger, Abe Newman, Jim Bowers, Doug Christ, Joseph from Like My Pedals, and Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast.
There you go. They gave us a shout out last episode.
Yeah,
so
check them out.
Yeah, we're loving it.
Not just because we're mentioned, but check them out.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, Johnny Ray, Jamie Davis, Sean Fahey, Steve Mike, Digger from Fatfoot Effects, Alvaro Viramontes, Brian from Nutter Guitars, Nicholas Payson, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast, Kevin Equits from Equits Guitars, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks, Matt Quine from the Brett Talk podcast. They're over in the UK, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it takes like 8 hours or so for you to get it here.
For them to hear it. Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah. And Nicholas Ogburn.
There you go. And I think this week we have a track from Brian Rash. So our drummer, he's sent this one in. Hope you guys
Just drums.
Yeah.
Just kidding.